All right, guys, it's Sunday, so here's my watch list for the week. Last week, I just wanted to do a quick recap. The QQQ, if you got it, it was an unbelievable week. We got the 342 all-time high break to 346. We got the square breakout of this little bull flag that I had going here all the way to almost 240. We had the SE breaking all-time highs, like I said last week, above this 278. And the big player of maybe the year, actually, from $700 all the way to 775 within 2 days. I actually made $24,000 off this trade, and it was a hell of a week. So I hope you guys got a hold of some of these. But let's get right into this week. We got not a lot going on in the economic data. We got the jobless claims coming out on Thursday and consumer spending on Friday, but we do have some earnings coming up. So we have Nike earnings, and it's kind of bouncing off of the support line. So I'm starting to look for a little bit of a reversal here this week. Just anything below this 125.50 price, I would expect a little bit of a sell-off in Nike. But if there's a little bit of a reversal here heading into earnings, I think this could be a great play for this week on the call side. The only thing that I would be worried about is this 125 support. So definitely watch this one for a reversal headed into earnings. We also have Amazon Prime Day this week, so that's going to be on the watch list to break this all-time high. It's kind of bull flagging right here, or bull flagging here. You might see a little bit of some sell pressure right around here, then maybe some breakout off of the catalyst news. But after Prime Day, Amazon does this thing where it sells the news as it did here. So be careful this one. This could break all-time highs, but it could also start to reverse. I also want to throw in a video on there again. This is a nice inverse hammer candle, and now that the stock split hype should be over up until it actually splits in July, since tomorrow is the last day you can actually buy the shares for them to get rewarded for the stock split. So I'm looking for this inverse hammer to start consolidating or start giving back some of these gains that I had. Ran from 540 to 775 in a little under 2 months. So this could be a great play on the put side. I'm really looking for this breakdown to test around the 723. Anything below that, I think it gets pretty ugly here. We could run higher into July, but for the short term here, it looks pretty bearish. So just keep this on watch. This is a nice support line at 745, and then it's really next support line at 723. So on the downside, you can make a ton of money on that move. But if it starts pushing up in bull flagging, we're going to see a push above 775 to probably near 800. I think the 4-for-1 stock split would make sense for them to try and push us to 800, so it gets an even $200 split. But we'll see where the price action is. But watch the 745 support line all the way down to the 723. It could be a big payday, but above this, if it bounces off this in the morning, we could see 775 again. So this 745 is the big player right there. What else we got? We got Snapchat. I'm looking at Snapchat on a longer term frame here. This kind of looks like an inverse head and shoulders to me. So if we can get a break above this $64 mark and then a break above this 65.60 mark, I think we're going to see some really, really big upside here in Snapchat. Once it gets above the 66 mark, I think we could start heading more towards all-time highs again. So this isn't really more of this week play. This is more of like a longer term. I just wanted to put this on the watch list because this looks like a pretty beautiful inverse head and shoulders. So if the market's not completely selling off, which it might because the SPY is under a lot of pressure, I would definitely take a look into these. These ones are going to be paying. These ones will probably pay out pretty well in the long term. We also have FedEx, FDX. This is similar to Nike, big downtrend, but there are earnings this week, so you might get some call pressure, some buy pressure into this one above 280, above 275, 280. So I'm going to be above this one right now, and then I'm going to look for this reversal here headed into earnings. There's 280 and then 275 are the support lines. So anything that breaks down below 280 and anything that breaks down below 275, that's what I would be watching out for. After FedEx, the last one I got on this is I got Chewy. Chewy over here is starting to break out a little bit after their earnings. They had a nice sell-off after their earnings point, but this looks like it's starting to head a little bit higher above this 81 price. And a lot of these stocks got sold off a lot back in March and May. So this one I'm looking for. It did a nice little dead cat bounce here and then a little reversal, and earnings were strong. So now I'm starting to see some reversal here on the short time frame. So if I can get 778.50 test all the way to 81, I'm going to see this. I want to see this $81 test this week. If we can get this $81 test, anything above that, I think this is going to start headed to the reversal to hopefully three figures again, around $100 per share. Not this week, but in the long term. But this just needs some buyers to come in. So anything above 78.50, if this test, you start seeing this bullish trend, it's probably going to test this 81 again. So if it breaks through this 81, the next one that we could see is 84, 83, or around $84 test. So This has some bullish sentiment coming up. It's gearing up. It looks like it formed a nice little bottom here. And now after earnings catalyst, it looks like a lot of buyers are starting to come in and the trend is about to flip. So above $79 here, you can see the $81 test all the way up to the $84 test. So we got 6 on the watch list. We got FedEx, NVIDIA, Amazon for Prime Day, Snapchat on the inverse head and shoulders longer term. We got Chewy for the potential $81 break. And then we also have Nike for the potential reversal. So watch out for these ones. We got a couple earnings this week. We also have Plug Power for an honorable mention, but that's on Tuesday. Just watch out for the market sell-off because this thing looks pretty ugly here on the SPY. We had a nice little gap down. Things are starting to reverse a little bit. So be careful in the market. Just pay attention to those support lines that I drew on this watch list, and you should be golden to make some pretty golden plays. So good luck this week, and let me know. We'll follow up next week on how everything went.